Jeff Slauson here from 19 News Now at the 19 News Digital Desk. Another day, another breaking Browns development when it comes to lawsuits and the potential new stadium in Brook Park. The Ohio Attorney General just submitted this today. Now, today was the day when both the state of Ohio and the city of Cleveland needed to have their responses to the Browns' initial lawsuit, which was asking a federal court to deem the Modell Law unconstitutional. The response today from the state of Ohio says federal law should not be deciding that due to a couple of factors, and they want it dismissed. Now, according to Attorney General Dave Yost, he believes that the crux of the lawsuit, which essentially says that the Modell Law is unconstitutional, is not right because it is constitutional. Now, the reason why the Browns say it is unconstitutional is because they believe it is, quote unquote, unconstitutionally vague, basically saying that the law is not clear enough on what needs to happen. Now, I'm going to read this directly from the lawsuit itself because I think it's really important to have this pretty clearly laid out here. We also have this very clearly laid out on our website at cleveland19.com. According to U.S. law, I'm going to read this directly, in order for a law to survive a vagueness challenge, it needs to, quote, a person of ordinary intelligence needs to have a reasonable opportunity to know what is prohibited and offer clear standards to judges, juries, and police that prevent discriminatory or arbitrary enforcement. Now, according to Attorney General Yost, a person of ordinary intelligence would understand what the Modell Law requires of the Browns before the team abandons its tax-supported facility and begins playing the majority of its games elsewhere. Essentially, what the Attorney General is saying is, while it doesn't specify how something needs to happen, that doesn't mean that it can be deemed unconstitutionally vague. Because the Modell Law, as we know, basically says for a team to be able to move, it has to come to an agreement with the city it's in, or it needs to offer the city a chance to purchase the team within 6 months of the move. Pretty cut and dry, they say. How exactly they offer it, that's not up for the court, that's up for the team to determine. So, they believe that the lack of vagueness in that means that the law should not be, this lawsuit should not continue in a federal court, and that a state court should decide it. Federal courts do determine the constitutionality of laws within states. That just makes it the most fair. And especially for the vagueness of a law, they would handle that. However, the Attorney General is arguing that's not the case here. This law is not vague. That is not federal. That is a state issue to determine in this lawsuit whether or not basically the Browns have to abide by it, not necessarily whether it is a law or not. That's making sense. This is the most simple way that I could present it here. So again, this lawsuit, the dismissal of it that the Attorney General wants, essentially looking to have it be determined that the crux of this lawsuit, the focal point of this lawsuit by the Browns, they say that this law is unconstitutional due to vagueness. According to the state and Attorney General Yost, that's not the case. This law is not vague. Therefore, the lawsuit should not be handled by a federal court. It should be handled by a state court. We still are expecting a response, a rebuttal to this from the city of Cleveland. That was due today at some point. They have until midnight. We don't know if that was filed yet or if it's going to be filed. We'll keep checking to make sure. But just another part of this saga continues. Yesterday, we got the information of the lawsuit going from the city of Cleveland to the Browns. They're accusing the Browns of basically ignoring their lease because part of the lease says they need to abide by local laws. This is going to continue to get messy, but at least the latest part has the Attorney General saying federal courts should not be deciding this because what the federal courts would decide, it's not the case here. Much more still to come on this and the other stories of the day. I'm going to be talking about this quite a bit coming up on 19 News at 11 o'clock and 10 o'clock as well. But again, Attorney General Dave Yost seeking a dismissal of the lawsuit the Browns have submitted in federal court against the city of Cleveland and the state of Ohio. We will wait to see what happens in the future with that. For now, I'm Jeff Slauson with 19 News. Have a great day. Much more to come, both on air and online.
19 News, now streaming on Samsung Smart TV. Search for channel 1035.